Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. I'm Tara with Pieces of Tara Artistry. Thank you for joining me. So today I am going to be doing a double bloom blowout for you. And if you saw my video last week, you saw that I used the same color palette. Now this is an experiment that I did. I did them on the same day. You can see that this is just, I did this one right after I did the one that I shared with you on the last video, except on this one I was experimenting to see what this pouring medium would do with just a little bit of varnish added to it. So I added the Behr triple thick to my pouring medium. And if you want to know what my pouring medium is, you can head to my last video. I will link it above here, and I will also link it in the description below. And you'll see how I mixed all my paints, but I mixed them exactly the same. And after I did my other pour, I just added a tiny squeeze of the Behr to it, just to see what would happen. So I did my blooms. I used the same color palette, the turquoise, phthalo, the gold from Golden, Pray Night, and Lakeside, which are gorgeous TLPs. I love them. There's the phthalo turquoise again, and I used the Payne's Gray from Amsterdam, and my cell activator is 1 part paint to 3 parts of the Aussie Floetrol. Now this is my hair dryer. It's my favorite. It's the MHU. It is from Amazon. It's $18 US. I use it on low speed, and I taped down that cool setting, so you see my green tape there, and it's just keeps that cool so you don't have the warm on your paint, or the hot. And I just went ahead and started blowing it out. Now I think that this blowout was really good, but I think I added a little too much cell activator to the center, which is fine. Normally what I do is I use my mouth to blow, and on this one I used this straw, which I don't like the straw. I don't know why I used it, because it makes little pocket cells, and I'm just not a fan of them. I think that if I had just blown into it a little bit with my mouth and I let it sit, I think the cells would have come back together just fine. But I went ahead, I think I panicked because I saw that black cell activator sitting in the middle, and I thought I needed to make sure that there was going to be cells in the middle. And I mean, there ended up being cells in the middle, but it was, compared to this other one, it just looked crazy to me, in my opinion. You might think differently, but in my opinion, I was not a fan at all. So I went ahead, and I'm going to show you another bloom. So I did another bloom on the other side, and I used all the same colors. I did layer them just a little bit differently. There's the phthalo turquoise, and then I did the Pray Night on top of it, then the gold from Golden, Lakeside from TLP, Pray Night from TLP, and then the gold on top. And then I did the cell activator of the Payne's Gray from Amsterdam. And again, I did the same blowout. I kind of blow down into the center to kind of spread out that cell activator in the middle, and then I kind of start blowing the bloom out and blowing that cell activator out. And on this one, I loved this one. And you'll see that I kind of had a lot of the black, same situation in this one as I had in the other one. And like I said, if I had just let that other one sit and let the cells collect back into the center, it kind of stretches back in to itself and fills in. I feel like I would have had a better bloom center on the other one like I did on this one. This one turned out fine. I did use the straw again, even though I did not like the way I used the straw before. So I don't know why I did it. I think I just get nervous when I see all that black sitting there. So, but it did, this one, the second one turned out really well. Here I'm just trying to kind of change. There was kind of a lot of black sitting there and I wasn't really a super fan of it. So I was trying to kind of blend it a little bit and blend those two blooms together a little bit better. And so that's what I was doing just now. Now you'll see I don't do typical blooms, you guys. If I don't like it spun out, I'll tilt. I kind of like what I like. And I feel like if you like what you like, figure it out, do your own style. And don't get too caught up on, oh, is my bloom perfect? So here I am using this stupid straw again. I don't know why I'm doing it, but at least it was just a very small area I was puffing into. I don't even know if it helped anything. So now I'm gonna spin this out and I'm gonna speed it up, you guys. It might make you sick to have all this spinning, but I did spin it out for quite a while. I did let the spins kind of go for a bit. So this one I didn't really speed up, but you'll see that I will start speeding them up. Otherwise, this video would be about, well, to be honest, with everything said and done, this video would probably be over 4 hours because we're only halfway through the video at this point. You will see what happens and why I will not ever use varnish. Well, maybe I should never say never, but why I won't use varnish in my PM again, because the wet results of this is fine, but the dry results were very frustrating. I got a lot of melting cells, so I just wasn't a fan. But if you look there, okay, so you see the bloom on the left, it's got a really pretty center, it looks really nice, the cells are all collected, and the one sort of toward the top now has a lot of black cell activator still showing, and it just looked disproportionate to me. The bloom on the bottom was kind of, it didn't look like the same piece to me. It was disconnected. So I decided that I was not going to keep that bottom bloom after I had spun and spun. And this was maybe another issue that I had, is I maybe overstretched this one, but I feel like I probably, I don't know, I feel like I made the right decision. I just feel like putting the varnish in there, if I had just left it the way it was without the varnish, I think the cells would not have melted and it would have been just fine. But I decided to try it to see if maybe I could redeem the varnish, and it just does not work for me. I live in Wisconsin. It may work for other people just fine, and I've seen it work great for other people. I just cannot make it happen, which is fine. You don't need to have varnish in there. And so here's what I decided: tilt. I just couldn't stand how that bottom or that top bloom looked, and so I start tilting. And what happened on the bottom section also is that it didn't start to flocculate, but it did kind of stretched those cells on the bottom a little too much, and they just kind of lost their color, if that makes any sense. You can kind of see it where it's a little bit lighter in that section at the top right now, and there's some cells that go through, and it just, I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite look. So now I have this black going through my painting. I just was not a fan of that, but at this point I thought, okay, I am just going to let it dry and see what happens. So this is right after I finished. It looked great, and the next day when I came to look at it, it was all melty in the center. It was very frustrating. So I decided to get out my extra heavy molding paste from Golden, and I mixed up some Payne's Gray, which was a little bit too light because that paste is a very opaque and it kind of has a white tint to it. So I was concerned that it was going to be too light. So I decided to add in a little bit of carbon black, which really kind of darkened it quite a bit, which was fine. I don't mind. I was looking at the Payne's Gray cell activator actually looks black, so it ended up being okay, and I didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, here I'm just mixing it. This is very sped up. It takes a little bit to get that in that extra heavy paste. See, here's the Golden carbon black that I'm going to add in there because this just looked a little too light for me. And what I should have done ahead of time is I should have done a test, but I was kind of, strapped on time, so I didn't have time to do a test to see how it was going to dry. I probably would have dried darker, but I just didn't have the time to see if that was going to happen. I had lots going on here, but so I added in the black, and now I am going to start doing the scales. This is a Fluid Art Co. number 32, I believe. It's a small palette knife. I love it. Rubber spatula from Dollar Tree, and I'm using a tempered glass palette. It's a new one I just bought. I was just going through a lot of paper palettes, so I decided to try this tempered glass one, see how I like it. It is gray, so it does show your colors a little more true. So this took me 3 hours just to add in these scales, which is fine. I don't have a problem with spending 3 hours on it. I enjoy it. It's kind of just put on some TV shows in the background, and I listen and laugh along with some sitcoms and some comedy skits. So I don't mind doing it, but it covered up some of those parts that I really didn't like. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of this one. I will be teaching this at the Fluid Art Experience in September 27th through 29th. The scales specifically, I will be teaching this technique. So check out fluidartexperience.com to get all the details. I'm excited to teach this one. I have taught the class more just general textures, but a lot of people tried the scales and they did so well with it, and I was really pleased with some of the stuff that they came up with. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the new students, and I really do hope to see you guys there. So I'm going to show you the dry results. You guys, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. If you like what you've seen, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And for sure leave a comment. I do read and respond to all comments, and I just thank you guys for being here. If you do want to see my pouring medium recipe, it is listed in the description box below, and it is the video that was just previous to this one. Okay guys, have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye y'all.